E. Preservatives. BHA, butylated hydroxyanisole, and BHT, butylated hydroxytoluene. Derived from petrochemical hydrocarbons and outlawed in Japan, Romania, Sweden, and Australia for possibly liver and kidney damage and carcinogenic health hazards. These chemicals are added to food to slow spoiling in fats and oils. Some suggest that neither compound is needed and can easily be replaced with vitamin E as a natural preservative. 2. Sodium nitrite. Used primarily in meat and fish to fix a lively color and add longevity, it is also an antibacterial agent against botulism. However, it forms known carcinogens in high heat cooking and has been linked by some to colon and pancreatic cancers. 3. Propylgallate. Slows spoiling in fats and oils, a suspected carcinogen. F. Sweeteners. 1. Aspartame, also known as NutraSweet and Equal. Derived from aspartic acid, a known excitotoxin, methanol, a known toxic alcohol, and phenylalanine. Upon ingestion, it breaks down into its harmful component parts. What is more dangerous is that outside of the body it rapidly breaks down at room temperature into 1-DKP, diketopiperazine, which converts to a suspected potent brain carcinogen upon ingestion. 2. Formic acid, a component of insect stings. 3. Formaldehyde, an embalming fluid. 4. Methanol, a toxic alcohol known to cause blindness. Aspartame has been linked to brain tumors and lesions, blindness, convulsions, and many other adverse nervous and endocrine system effects common to excitotoxins. Most commonly found in low-calorie and diet or sugar-free products. Aspartame was discovered by accident in 1965 by scientist James Schlattler while working on a drug for peptic ulcers for G.D. Searle and Company, a U.S. pharmaceutical corporation. It was approved by the FDA in July 1974, but withdrawn in December of that year because of brain tumors found in rats tested with aspartame. In 1977, the already 20-year political veteran, Donald Rumsfeld, became the CEO and president of G.D. Searle. In April 1981, shortly after Reagan took office, newly appointed FDA Commissioner Arthur Hall Hayes, appointed by the Secretary of HHS, Richard Schweiker, overruled a public board of inquiry and approved aspartame for use in dry foods before any further tests were conducted. Then, in 1983, it was approved for use in beverages. Upon leaving the FDA, September of 1983, Dr. Hayes became a dean and provost of New York Medical College. Then, in 1986, he became a paid consultant for G.D. Searle's firm, Burson Marsteller, one of the largest public relations firms in the world. A mere 1 year after, Donald Rumsfeld assisted the sale of G.D. Searle and Company to Monsanto Chemical Corporation for a suspected profit of $12 million in 1985. While G.D. Searle's lawyer, Robert B. Shapiro, became Monsanto's president. There is great debate over the authenticity of the safety tests performed regarding this chemical as noted in 1987 by toxicologist Dr. Jacqueline Verrett, before a U.S. Senate hearing describing the tests as serious departures from acceptable toxicology protocols. Obviously, as shown, the government departments are compromised by corporate interest, thus all tests conducted by them, including NCI, National Cancer Institute, will all be likewise compromised. 2. Cyclamate. This synthetic sweetener was discovered in 1937 on accident by Michael Sveda while working on the synthesis of an anti-fever medication. It was banned in October 1969 as a suspended carcinogen about 4 years before the legalization of aspartame, but has been making a comeback and the ban has been being lifted. 3. Saccharin, also known as sweet and low. Derived from coal tar and discovered by accident in 1879, has caused cancer of the bladder, reproductive organs, skin, and other organs in laboratory tests. Therefore, in 1977, the FDA attempted to ban saccharin, but Congress allowed its use in foods so long as they had warning labels. In May 2000, the HHS removed saccharin from its list of cancer-causing chemicals, and that same year, Congress revoked the need for a warning label while this chemical remains banned in Canada. 4. Sucralose, or Splenda. This product of Johnson & Johnson is derived from sugar, sucrose, and chlorine. There is a debate over whether it has been significantly tested, and concern that approximately a third of it is absorbed by the body. Claims have been made that it causes thymus gland shrinkage and enlargement of liver and kidneys, as well as general concern that prolonged use may result in adverse nervous and endocrine system effects. G. Irradiated foods. A newer practice arising in food production is irradiation. This process allows for more filthy foods to be irradiated and become, quote-unquote, safe for consumption. This allows the corporate slaughterhouses and other producers to speed up their production with less concern for cleanliness. This irradiation can leave trace levels of radioactivity, and animals eating such foods have been shown to exhibit an increase in tumors. The radiation breaks up molecules not only in harmful bacteria, but also in vitamins and other nutrients, as well as any preservatives or pesticides, etc. This myriad of broken chemicals then combined with each other, forming new chemicals called uniquely radiolytic products, or URPs, which can be any chemical, some possibly unknown. Known ERPs include benzene and formaldehyde, two known toxins. The irradiation causes nutritional value loss of 5 to 80%, depending on the food type and the application method. Irradiated foods must be labeled with the following logo. H. Diets. The dieting population is suckered with countless poisons to cater to their fear of weight gain, each worse for them than if they eat pure fat doused with sugar. It is arguably better to eat just sugar than to ingest laboratory-produced synthetics. To believe that man, in his thousands of years upon Earth, knows what is best for the human body, a product of 300 billion years of natural earthly evolution, is outright foolish. There are those who then decide to simply eat organic, where another slew of deceptive merchandise lies in wait as well. Quote-unquote natural flavors are additives produced by laboratory processes, as are modified starches, flours, and proteins, each of them laboratory products, which may have degrees of safety. However, the point is that they are many times included in supposedly organic or all-natural foods, over twice the price and half as expensive to make. Many times the companies succeed in using all organic and truly natural products, and then add unnatural preservatives and inhibitors to the mix, and claim that they protect taste, or freshness, or flavor enhancer, when it is strictly profit-oriented as above, and remains marketed as organic or all-natural. 1. Weight gain. The population's concern with weight is based mostly on misunderstanding. Fat is light compared to muscle and water. So to measure health by weight is completely irrational. If one works out, one will most likely build muscle and drink more water, thus becoming heavier. Fat itself, regardless of weight, should be watched as a degree of tone. An effort should be made to keep such tone, as all animals in nature are active and thus hold a healthy fat-to-muscle tone ratio. But the lazy are concerned with the magic pill and become a host for an endless supply of poisons from diet pills to steroids, all wanting something without putting forth any effort. Excess fat is simply the result of laziness coupled with overeating and nothing else. 2. Vitamins. Strict amateur vegetarians are exploited because of their usually incomplete diet is in need of countless supplements eagerly supplied to them by the chemical industry. It would be no surprise if the chemical industry were actually a major proponent for vegetarianism. All vitamins and minerals supplied by the chemical manufacturers can all be had by simply eating a certain food. Unlike the synthetics, real foods have an additional overlooked quality, that of life itself. All synthetics are devoid of life. The vitamins, minerals, proteins, etc. are only a part of the body's need, the material part. The subtle energy of life feeds the spiritual body, a more subtle body. This is actually the true philosophy behind vegetarianism, which most fad vegetarians are unaware of. The energy is very high in freshly harvested plants, yet the energy begins to fade the moment a plant is harvested or a beast slaughtered, and that rate is much faster in animals. Thus, bottled juice and canned fruits and vegetables have much less life, if any, than fresh-picked food. The individualists are aware of the importance of this ingredient and have no shortage of it with the practice of self-sustenance. 3. Water. With the proper amount of water, nearly every common ailment can be alleviated. One should drink 1 fluid ounce of water per pound of body weight per day and have 1 gram of salt per 150 pounds while drinking such quantities. Water is used by the body to carry all things from food to wastes, thus a shortage of it slows the entire process. Dehydration, or simply inadequate hydration, thus causes a lack of waste elimination, resulting in countless toxins in the body wreaking endless havoc. Couple this with the resulting lack of inefficient transportation of food to rebuild and combat such damages, and the signals of these various internal wars are many, from aching joints, muscular cramps and inflexibility, headache, dry skin, eyes, nose, lack of mucus causing asthma-like symptoms, heart palpitations, restlessness, etc. Thus, this inefficiency of food energy delivery and waste elimination set a stage for pathogens to thrive, causing the situation to greatly worsen. This drinking water should preferably be pure water, as in distilled, free from chlorine, fluorine, and other added toxins. Chlorine is a suspect in liver and bladder cancer, and fluorine is suspected to accumulate in bones with adverse effects. I. Animal alteration. 1. GMOs, genetically modified organisms, and synthetics. Genetic engineering and alteration of animals and plants, making them produce more or different things than in nature, is seen as an abomination to the individualist when it is done with a profit-oriented mind. Many of the chemicals fed to the animals or their side effects end up in the final product consumed by man, such as the adding of milk production boosting hormones to cows which have side effects on the product causing excessive white blood cell count, pus, to be contained within it. The individualists set up the unnatural foods tax to counter these horrific acts, as well as initiate proper education to inform the people and raise future chemists with a more compassionate demeanor. All people in the individualistic society will be thereby aware of the detail of their food's origins. J. Food Bill. A bill called the Personal Responsibility in Food Consumption Act, or the Cheeseburger Bill, bans anyone from suing food manufacturers, sellers, and distributors regardless of the harm caused by food one has eaten. The only way this bill is fair is by passing a companion bill forcing the full disclosure of all industry ingredients and methods of production and distribution in a clear, unambiguous manner. Only then can one be responsible for what one is eating. This is further proof of the profiteering mindset of another industry who has the entire government bought and paid for.